Okay, hi again all. This time today's experiment is stage 2 of the Fullerene cells. This one, the sugar Fullerene, maybe Fullerene, is coated on the carbon electrode, and the aluminium electrode has the bread Fullerene. And the other one is the bread on the carbon, and the sugar is on the aluminium plate on that one. And this is a dry cell, the sugar cell with the carbon. Carbon electrode has the sugar Fullerene on it. Is 0.2 volts on an empty cell, so the two carbon mismatches are sort of working. I'll just put some electrolyte in this one. Okay, we're up at 0.6 and climbing. 7. A note, the carbon was already pre-carboned before I did the Fullerene experiment on it. It was just there to collect the fumes from the gouging electrode with the copper ripped off it. Okay, alright, so I'll give this cell a charge of 1 minute at the same voltage we were on last night. If you can see. Yeah, can't see. Can't have the light's broken. Alright, I'll charge that up for a minute and I'll get back, but we'll see what the milliamps and voltage is. Alright, we started at, I think it was 200. Alright, I'll set the timer. I missed that timer. Okay, a little bit over a milliamp. We'll get some electrolyte for the other one while we're waiting. So a recap, the carbon electrode on the first cell we're charging up now has the sugar Fullerenes on it. Okay, we're at 50 seconds now. We can go down a lot more. We're at 1 minute now, so we'll just do a short circuit on it. Short circuiting now. 49 milliamps on that one. We'll let the voltage go back up. I'll reset the timer. And we'll run the cell, run the load and see how long this cell actually holds the load for. Okay, we're starting off at 22 milliamps. This test is to see if the different carbons on each plate have an effect. I managed to scrape off the surface of the bread finally, and managed to get enough material for 2 cells which are drying at the moment. I only lightly scraped it with a razor blade, so you can't see much scraping going on. It's really hard to scrape off actually. I tried to keep on the crust side of the bread instead of the porous side. So we'll see how those cells perform later as well. That's where all the fumes went up into, so I was hoping the bread would absorb more of the fumes from the carbon electrode what was getting arced. Right, I've only written down the 2-minute charges. No, they were the 12-minute charges. I'll have to look at the video to see if it ran. Oh no, I think I can remember. It ran for 1:40. Yeah, it's about the same. 1:40. This one was a bit less than the bread one last time, so we're equal now. And a voltage bounce back on that one. Yeah, 0.05. And for the other cell, okay, we're getting, oh, look at that, 0.4 volts on the dry cell. I'll put some electrolyte in it. Again, it's just Epsom salts. Okay, we got 0.8. This one's looking good. Alright, I'll give it a minute's charge and we'll see what this one does. 95, 100 milliamps. So this one is the bread fullerenes on the carbon plate and sugar on the aluminium plate. Cells are still new again. Later last night on the other cells, on what was it? Charge time of 12 minutes. The bread one ran for 10 minutes on the second run compared to 9 on the first time it was charged up. Oh, that's 1 minute. And a short circuit on this one. 36 milliamps, but the voltage is higher. Alright, so we'll see if we get 1:40 out of this one. Starting now. Oh, whoops, wrong lead. That was the battery lead. Alright, do it again. Starting now. Alright, we're lower in milliamps. Voltage seems to be holding pretty well. We're at 40 seconds and it's 0.38 and holding. Motor's just, they're still spinning there. Right over here it is. The power curve looks alright on this one. Sort of steps down. Oh no, we're dropping faster now. So already it looks sort of like there's a difference in the cell. The two carbons can't be the same on each cell. Perhaps, because this one definitely had a higher voltage. The bread works good on the carbon cell. Carbon electrode, I should say. Okay, we're at 1:50 now, so again, it's hard to say, it's the cross mix. You'd think they'd run the same. We're hitting the 2-minute mark and we're 0.2. The carbon electrode could be a bit better, and also the thicknesses of the carbons might be different consistency. So I just tip it on there with the spoon. Okay, we got we got 2 minutes and 20 we had, and we're still holding 11 milliamps. So that was not a bad run. I think that actually beats just the bread on both plates. Alright, so I'll set up a 2-minute charge and then I'll get back just before the charge sets. Okay, coming up to a 2-minute charge, and we're at 2 minutes. I'll reset the timer. Okay, alright, we won't do a short circuit. We're holding 2 volts for a while. Alright, I'll connect the load and we'll see how long a 2-minute charge lasts on the little load. Okay, this time we're drawing 20 milliamps. Oh, look, the voltage just went up twice, 3 times. Well, that's looking good on a 2-minute charge. We're holding strong at 0.5, dropping, still at 22 milliamps. So having the same carbon on the cells seem to hinder them. They keep recognizing themselves as the same material, perhaps. So we could call this a composite of carbons. And we're holding 0.4 volts. It's looking good. We're at 1 minute now. I got 2 grams of the scrapings on the outside of the 10 pieces of bread, and I have a little test sample for the ohms reading. They're not very thick. And we're at 2 minutes, no, 1 minute 50 and 0.3 volts. It's looking good, it's holding actually. This one has actually a good power curve with a bit extra charge. They don't hold charge overnight, they just run out. But they're only separated with the paper towel. And we're still at 0.3 volts, 2 minutes. And this was a 2-minute charge. So we're looking good. The carbon's definitely an improvement. So I wonder if there's stuff on the outside of the sugar. It was just held in place and the fumes would have went up there somewhere. Okay, we're at nearly, 6 seconds to go to 3 minutes. The motor sort of stops at 0.11 volts. I think the other one got 4 minutes, didn't it, on a 2 minute? No, what did it? There was a 4 minutes on something. Yeah, I reckon the other one did get a 4 minute. Okay, we got 3 minutes 47 And oh, emergency. Alright. Okay. Right, disconnecting. See what the voltage bounces back to. Alright, I'll connect the other cell and give that one a 2-minute charge and I'll be back. Okay, we've just hit the 2-minute mark for this charge on the sugar on the carbon cell. Disconnecting the charge. And the voltage is going to stay around about, probably go to 1.5 or something maybe. Alright, we'll connect the load and see if we get 3 minutes and 40 out of this one. Oh, 40 milliamps, did you just see that? This has more power density for some reason. Has the bread carbon on the aluminium and the sugar on the carbon. But it's going to chew through its power quickly. Did that? It's a bit hard to tell which is the better cell. They both definitely work. This one actually looks like it's holding 20 milliamps after 150 seconds. And voltage is stable. Holding strong. Oh, it was, just dropped. The milliamps are definitely up on this cell. Might have a lot to do with how thick they are coated. Okay, we're at nearly 2 minutes, coming up. 2 minutes now, and we're at 16. This one actually might get a longer run time. We got, what was it, 3 minutes and 40 I think. And we're on 20 range on the voltage and the 200 milliamp range on the amp gauge. Yeah, power levels up on this cell. And we're at 3 minutes now. 3 minutes and still at 0.2 volts. That's all about the carbons there. And a bit of electrolyte. It's only Epsom salts. They'd have much more power, some better Epsom salts and different materials. Oh, we might be close, it might be just a little bit more. It's now 3 minutes and 40 seconds on this one. So we might get 4 minutes on this one. Probably all depends on what the power supply delivers on the cell and the resistance. But this is just a gauge. So these carbons actually look good. we're at 4 minutes and 5 seconds, so 4 minutes on this cell and a voltage recovery. Yeah, not too badish, 0.5. Oh well, I'll give these a 12-minute charge and put the results at the bottom of the description, and thanks for watching.